Hi and hello, Rays fans, and welcome to another presentation of Rays Baseball American League East Showdown here tonight in Toronto. It's the Tampa Bay Rays coming in at 39 and 34, and the Toronto Blue Jays at 37 and 35. The starting pitcher tonight for the Blue Jays is Tanner Roark. Roark is 7 and 4 on the season with a 3.20 ERA. In his last start, he had a 7-3 win versus the Seattle Mariners on June 10th. He went 8 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 8. The first Rays batter he will face is the designated hitter batting left, Austin Meadows. Meadows is .243 on the year, 28 runs batted in, 9 home runs. The Rays in their all gray, Blue Jays in their white pants and blue home jersey. That first pitch to Meadows is low for ball 1. So the lineup that Tanner Roark will face, leading off, designated hitter Austin Meadows, batting second baseman Brandon Lowe, batting third, the first baseman Ji-Man Choi, batting cleanup and playing right field, it's Hunter Renfro, batting fifth and shortstop, it's William Tamas, batting sixth in center field, Kevin Kiermaier, batting seventh in left field, it's Jose Martinez, batting 8th and playing third base is Joey Wendell. And batting 9th and catching, it's Mike Zunino. As that ball gets through the gap on the left side of the infield, call it a leadoff single for Austin Meadows. And that'll get things started in a hurry for the Rays. Now to the plate, it's the second baseman Brandon Lowe. Lowe .248 on the year, 41 runs batted in, 13 homers. An 8-game hitting streak for number 8. Austin Meadows at first after a leadoff single with nobody out. A chance for the Rays to tack on some runs here early. As that one is lifted up and it's going to get down for a base hit. And all the way back to the wall and right, Austin Meadows is going to stop at third base. It's a double for Brandon Lowe, and it's men at second and third with nobody out in the first. The Rays off to a red-hot start here in Toronto. After a 5-10 loss they suffered a couple days ago in the homestand finale against the Orioles. It's now Ji-Man Choi. Choi is batting .234 on the year, 26 runs batted in, 10 homers. A single here would probably score a couple of runs. The 0-1 pitch from Roark, and that one is going to be put on the ground, picked up by the first baseman, who throws it to Roark, who steps over to put out Choi, but Meadows will score from third. So it's an RBI grounder for Choi, and now it's 1-0 Rays. Now with a chance to score another run, it's Hunter Renfro. His 19 home runs are tied for 10th place in the American League. He's batting .214 on the year with 36 runs batted in and 19 homers. A decent fly ball would probably count for his 37th RBI. James Kingsley, the home plate ump, calling the balls and strikes here today. The 0-1 to Renfro, and it's swung on and missed for strike 1. Roark really has not been able to settle in at all. Rays batters have been jumping at pitches early in at-bats. As that one is lifted up in the air. That has a good charge. Chased by the right fielder, Grichuk, and that one is out of here. The Rays in the first inning score 3 runs. This one thanks to a 2-run shot by Hunter Renfro. That's his 20th long ball of the year. Scores Brandon Lowe from third base. And now the Rays have taken a sizable lead here early and with only 1 out. Also to note, Tanner Roark has not faced the Rays so far this year. Blue Jay starters have really had their way with the Rays. Hyun-Jin Ryu going complete game, as has Chase Anderson. But Tanner Roark may be looking at an early exit, and only one third of an inning. He's given up 3 runs. And now it's Willy Adames here, batting in the middle part of the order. On the year, he's batting .237, 24 runs batted in, and 5 home runs, as that one is going to get up the middle, picked up by the second baseman, Biggio, and the first baseman, Travis Shaw, has to come off the bag to get the throw. It's going to be ruled a base hit regardless. So that's good for the 4th hit in this first inning for the Rays. And it will keep this inning going here for Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier is batting .243 on the year. 35 runs batted in, 12 homers. That one is popped up and going to get down in front of the left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. And that is now the 5th hit in this inning. The Rays' offense has really exploded here in Toronto, as we're now already down in the 7th spot in the order. It's the left fielder, Jose Martinez. Martinez is .243 on the year, 15 runs batted in, with 6 home runs. Men at first and second with 1 out. Rays up 3 in the first. Martinez checks his swing. Doesn't matter. It's a called strike. In his career versus Rourke, Martinez is 2 for 6. Now the 0-1. And that one is put in the air, chased by the center fielder McKinney, but he's under it for out number 2. The runners will stay put. And now up to the plate comes Joey Wendell. The third baseman is batting .229 on the year. 16 runs batted in and a sole home run. He has Willy Adames standing at second, Kiermaier at first. A lefty on righty matchup here. It'll be the catcher Zunino that will come to the plate next if Wendell is to reach base. That would be all 9 men in the order. The 1-0 to Wendell is swung on and missed for strike 1. Rourke already has thrown 17 pitches. Another cut and a miss from Wendell, and now 1-2. Does not look to be seeing Rourke's pitches too well. Rourke able to fool him a little bit. And Wendell chases outside for strike number 3. So that will retire the side. The Rays put up 3 in the first inning. That 2-run shot there by Renfro as we head to the bottom of the first. The starting pitcher tonight for the Rays, it's Yonny Chirinos. Chirinos is 5-3 on the year with a .282 ERA. In his last start versus the Blue Jays, he had an 8-4 win. That was on May 28th. In that game, he went 6 1/3, gave up 7 hits, an earned run, walked a man, and struck out 8. The first Blue Jay to come to the plate, it's a designated hitter, Rowdy Tellez. He's batting .226 on the year. The first pitch to him is in there for strike 1. The Blue Jays lineup, Chirinos is going to face tonight. Leading off and playing designated hitter, it's Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, the second baseman, Cavan Biggio. Batting third, the shortstop, Bo Bichette. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Randal Grichuk. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Travis Shaw. Batting seventh, the catcher, Reese McGuire. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Billy McKinney. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Brandon Drury. Rowdy Tellez there hits against the shift. Picks up a leadoff double, his 11th of the year. And now Toronto potentially off to a hot start offensively themselves with the leadoff double. It's now Cavan Biggio. He's batting .400 in his last 6 games. He's .257 on the year, a man in scoring position with nobody out. A righty on lefty matchup, Tellez leading off the second base bag. The first pitch to Biggio is fouled back. And now the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Chirinos shakes off Zunino and now finds a sign that he likes. Here's the pitch. High. Couldn't get him to chase, and it's 1-2. That fastball in there at 95 miles an hour. The 1-2. That one's low, and now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another take there from Biggio, and he's worked the count full. Bo Bichette awaiting on deck. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled away. Another payoff. And a cut and a miss. He went a bit to the off speed, went inside, and got Biggio to chase. It's Chirino's first strikeout of the night and the first out of the game. Jammed him up a little bit there. And now it'll be the right-handed batter, Bo Bichette. He's batting .294 on the season. Rowdy Tellez at second with 1 out. An 8-game hitting streak for the youngster. Blue Jays trying to at least pick up a run. They're facing a deficit here early. That pitch low from Chirinos, and now 2 balls, no strikes is the count. The Rays, after their loss in yesterday's game, is now 39-34. They're now 3rd place in the American League East as they have fallen behind the Boston Red Sox. They're 6.5 games back of first. That would be the New York Yankees at 45-27. The Blue Jays, to their credit, they're a couple of games above 500 at 37-35. They're 4th place in the American League East and 8 games back of first. However, they've been red hot. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. That one is going to get through for a base hit, picked up by the right fielder, Hunter Renfro. And now runners at the corners with only 1 out. As now Teoscar Hernandez, who's on a 6-game hitting streak. He's batting .245 on the year. .429 in his last 6 games. Double play ball would be the best case scenario here for the Rays. That would get him out of the inning. Anything else is probably going to bring in a run. Throw back to first. And Bichette is safe. The 1-0 pitch. And that one is in there, taken for strike 1. A cut and a miss there from Hernandez, and now 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. It's Rowdy Tellez standing at 3rd, Bo Bichette at 1st. The cleanup man Hernandez here at the plate. The 1-2 from Chirinos. And that one is put on the ground, a weak ground ball. Adames goes to 2nd, and the flip to 1st, and is not in time. So a run is going to come across. Teoscar Hernandez runs out the double play. He'll drive in Rowdy Tellez, who got this inning started with a leadoff double. So it's an RBI fielder's choice for Hernandez as Tellez comes across to score. It's now 3-1 Rays. And now with the man on first and 2 outs, it's Randal Grichuk. He's .273 on the year. That first pitch from Chirinos is taken for strike 1. Now the Rays that will come to the plate in the 2nd inning will start off with the 9-hole Zunino and then go back to the top for Meadows and Lau. A cut and a miss, and now 0-2. Chirinos to strike away from getting out of this inning. It won't be scoreless, that he still holds the lead. The 0-2. And that one is lifted high up in the air. Chased down by the center fielder, Kiermaier, and he can't make the catch as it bounces along the wall. It's going to score a run. An RBI double here for Randal Grichuk as it scores Teoscar Hernandez from first. And now it's a 1-run game, 3-2. That ball looked like it could have gotten out of here. A leaping attempt for Kiermaier. He can't get it in his glove, though. Down to their final strike of the inning. The Blue Jays put up another run, and now it's the first baseman Travis Shaw with a man in scoring position. The tying run, in fact, Shaw is batting .226 on the year. It's Randal Grichuk standing at second with 2 outs. A 3-2 ball game here in the first, and it's a weak grounder to Brandon Lowe, who sets and throws to first to retire the side. So busy first inning. The Rays put up 3. Blue Jays respond with 2 of their own. A 1-run Rays lead at the end of 1. It'll be the catcher, Mike Zunino, to get this inning started for the Rays. Zunino batting .245 on the season. He had a couple of doubles in Monday's game against the Orioles. The first pitch to Zunino is outside for ball 1. Zunino's 0 for 6 in his career versus Tanner Roark. Roark gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs in the first inning. Now the 1-0. Swung on and missed. And that one is going to get through the gap in the left side of the infield. Another leadoff hit for the Rays. A leadoff single there for Mike Zunino as he continues his hitting ways. Six hits already given up by Roark and 1+. Not looking to be a great start for him. His offense has helped him out, but he's going to need to start getting outs a little more consistently. It's now Austin Meadows. He led this game off with a single, ended up coming across to score. And that one is lifted up in the air, but it's the left fielder Teoscar Hernandez underneath it. That one died quickly out there in left. And now there's one away for Brandon Lowe. Lowe 1 for 1, a double for him in the first inning. And that one is caught by the third baseman, Drury. A quick line out there for Lowe. And now with quickly 2 outs, it's the first baseman, Ji-Man Choi, who grounded himself into an RBI in the first inning. Batting third here today. A man on first, that was Zunino via the leadoff single. The next 2 men retired, and now it's Choi who chases that first pitch outside. The 0-2, and Choi takes a step back to avoid getting hit by that one. Roark a strike away from getting out of an inning scoreless. The 1-2 pitch is right down Grand Central. Strike 3 called. Choi not happy with that one. So the Rays get a leadoff single, but that's it. Head to the bottom of the second. It's a 1-run Rays lead. It'll be the catcher, Reese McGuire, to lead off this bottom frame for the Blue Jays here. He's batting .242 on the year. He takes that first pitch outside for ball 1. It'll be Reese McGuire, Billy McKinney, and Brandon Drury, the 7, 8, 9 hitters here in the second. As that one is lifted up in the air, the left fielder Martinez has some ground to cover, but gets there just in time for out number 1. The outfield was shifted well to the right. McGuire goes left, but Martinez, the lumbering, tall player, is able to run it down. And now it's the center fielder Billy McKinney up next. With 1 out and the bases clear, he's 254 on the year. So you got to look at his home road splits. Nearly twice as better as at home versus on the road. He's batting 8th here tonight. It's a 3-game set here between these two American League East rivals. Of course, it's Chirinos v. Rourke tonight. Tomorrow, it'll be Glasnow v. Trent Thornton. And in the finale, it'll be Snell versus Chase Anderson. Glasnow 1-7 on the year, following a campaign in which he looked like he was going to be vying for the Cy Young Award before he went down with some forearm tightness in the month of May last season. Of course, he came back in the tail end of 2019 and pitched in some big postseason games. So certainly not the start that the Rays were hoping he'd have here in 2020. But we'll see him on the mound tomorrow, see if he can get things turned around. McKinney takes that pitch outside, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one is slapped foul. And so we'll do it again at 1-2. And that one low, blocked in the dirt inside. The count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fouled away. Billy McKinney getting his money's worth here in his first at-bat. Chirinos throwing the kitchen sink at him. Here's the 2-2. And that one's inside. And the count's full. It would only be fitting that this at-bat would lead to a full count. The payoff pitch. And that one is popped up. No one's over there. The left fielder Martinez is going to have to get there, and he does. For out number 2, that one looked like it was just going to end up getting down for a base hit. The outfield once again shifted to the right. But once again, Jose Martinez able to run it down. And now it's the 9-hole hitter, Brandon Drury, with 2 outs and the bases empty. He's 228 so far this season. The first pitch to him is taken strike 1. In the top of the 3rd inning, it'll be Renfro, Adames, and Kiermaier. All 3 of those players got hits in the first inning as well, including that home run by Renfro. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, can't get him to chase. That looks like that will probably have Chirinos' pitch count inflate. Zanino's calling the game to try and get the Blue Jays to chase. More often than not, they won't. Chirinos only 1 strikeout here so far, the 1-2. And he got him to chase high there. And so that will retire the side. Strikeout number 2 for Chirinos. He gets through the entire Jays lineup through 2. Rays lead by 1. It's the slugger Hunter Renfro to lead off this 3rd inning. He had a 2-run homer in the first inning to get things started. That was his 20th homer of the season. Rays not a team necessarily known for having some sluggers. But this past offseason, the team has undergone some change, including bringing in Hunter Renfro, essentially to replace Tommy Pham. Jose Martinez brought in from St. Louis. To give the Rays some much-needed power, and it's paid off, especially in the case of Renfro. That pitch taken outside. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. A good look at the Rogers Center with the beautiful skyline of Toronto in the background. Always a nice venue to play at. A unique venue, certainly. Also hosts Toronto's soccer club. And Renfro goes down on strikes there. And goes from home run to strikeout. And he represents the first out here in this third inning. Third strikeout of the evening for Tanner Roark, as he looks like he might be starting to heat up a little bit. And now it's the shortstop Willie Adames who singled in the first inning. Takes that pitch well high, and it's 2-0 now. That pitch right up the middle into the glove of Roark, who flips it over to Travis Schott first and retires Adames. He goes down 1-3. And now it'll be the center fielder Kevin Kiermaier, who has a single of his own. Lefty on righty matchup here. 2 outs, bases empty. Rays with a 1-run lead here in the third. After a busy first inning, this game has certainly picked up the pace. And now the 0-1 is lifted right to the second baseman, Biggio, who throws it over to Shaw to retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning here in the third for the Rays as they take their 1-run lead to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays return to the top of the order. It's Rowdy Tellez to get things started here in the third. 1 for 1 with a double. That first pitch to him is fouled back. A cut and a miss for Tellez, and now quickly 0-2. Takes that one just low, and now a ball, 2 strikes. That one fouled right back to Zunino. And we'll do it again at 1-2. And that one is going to get down right in front of the left fielder Martinez for a leadoff single. A double, and now a single for Rowdy Tellez. As that's now the 4th hit of the day for the Blue Jays. And that'll bring up Cavan Biggio, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout here against Chirinos so far. That first pitch is fouled away into the left field's foul seats. That pitch is low, and it's a ball and a strike now the count. Chirinos gets the sign that he likes, and the pitch just outside for ball 2. Fastball at around 95. A quick cut and a miss there. Took some speed off. About 8 miles an hour. He's now leveled the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Man on first, nobody out. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Goes to the off speed again and gets Biggio. Strikes him out for the second time. Coincidentally, both of those are the only strikeouts in the books for Chirinos this evening. It's now the shortstop, Bo Bichette, with a man on and 1 out. Bichette is 1 for 1 with a single. And that one is right to the third baseman, Joey Wendell. This could be two. It is. Goes around the horn. 5-4-3. An inning-ending double play. As at the end of 3, Rays lead 3-2. It'll be Jose Martinez to lead off this 4th inning for the Rays. He's 0 for 1, a fly out to center. It's Jose Martinez, Wendell, and Zunino, the bottom part of the order here, to face Rourke a second time. The 0-1 outside. Down, fouled back for strike 2. Tries to get Martinez to chase, but he won't. Count even again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ray's trying to get the leadoff man aboard. It's going to be a full count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes after Martinez takes that one low. Rourke nearing the 50 pitch mark and about 3+ innings pitched to pay off. And that one is lifted up, but it's going to be run down, it looks like, by the right fielder Grichuk. And it is for out number 1. And see the pitch speed comparison. Both starting pitchers top out at around the low to mid 90s. Chirinos has consistently taken some off, pitching at around 88, 89. Has fooled a lot of Blue Jays hitters with that. That first pitch to Wendell is taken outside. Wendell struck out in his first time up, and he flares that one up, and it's going to be fair. Goes back to the wall, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-out double for Wendell. 7th hit of the day for the Rays, as they get another runner here in scoring position. Wendell reaches low in the dirt to get the barrel on the ball, and ends up paying off as he finds the hole in the defense. Now it's the catcher Mike Zunino, who's 1 for 1, a single in the second. A single would probably drive in another run and make it 4-2. But we'll just have to see. The 1-0. Taking on the far and away part of the plate. For strike 1. Another take from Zunino, and it's 1-2. The 1-2. And that one put on the ground, and that one's going to get through for a base hit. Wendell stays put at third, so with 1 out, it'll be runners at the corners. That is now the 8th hit surrendered by Rourke, as the Rays have had his number here. Barring a double play, it looked like the Rays will probably cash in for at least another run, as they return to the top of the order a 3rd time through for Austin Meadows. He's 1 for 2 with a single. It's Joey Wendell standing at 3rd, Zunino at 1st. Lefty on righty matchup. That one outside. Meadows is only 155 on the year with runners in scoring position. Probably best utilized as a leadoff hitter as he is tonight. The 1-1 is inside. 2 balls and a strike. And now it fouled away. The count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tanner Rourke looking for the weak ground ball to try and get out of this inning. Meadows takes, and it's 3-2. It's Brandon Lowe next, so it looks like the Rays will get a good chance at bringing Wendell around. Here's the payoff to Meadows, and fouled away again. Another foul ball right to the same place. And foul territory and left. The Rogers Center with pretty sizable foul territory. Another 3-2. And that one is fouled. Austin Meadows looks like he's got Rourke's number, but can't time it up just right. We've had several foul balls here in the 3-2, and another one there. If anything, just further chasing Rourke out of this game. Now 63 pitches through 3 1/3. He'll be lucky probably to get through 5. As that one is low to Meadows, and the Blue Jays are going to come out and talk to Rourke, as he has now loaded the bases thanks to that walk to Meadows, who worked an extraordinary at-bat against him. The chat's over with, and they're going to leave him in. They have Matt Shoemaker warming up in the pen. It's Brandon Lowe up next. He's 1 for 2 with a double. He came across to score in the first. The bases are loaded with only 1 out. A base hit would probably score 2. It's Joey Wendell standing at third. Mike Zunino at second. And Austin Meadows at first. Brandon Lowe is .321 in the year with runners in scoring position. Batting second here today. Kevin Cash quite confident in the young second baseman. As that one is put on the ground, this one is probably going to be 2, and it is. So the Rays load up the bases with only 1 out, and Brandon Lowe grounds into a double play to end things. They have no runs to show for it. It'll be Teoscar Hernandez to lead off this bottom half of the 4th for the Blue Jays. Had a RBI fielder's choice in the first inning. Blue Jays down a run in the 4th. It's 3-2 Rays. They're lucky the Rays only have 3, as they loaded up the bases with only 1 out, and Brandon Lowe grounded into that double play. And that one is put on the ground, picked up by Wendell, flips it to first, and the throw in time for out number 1. With 1 out, it'll be Randal Grichuk now. He's 1 for 1, an RBI double in the first. And that one's put on the ground, picked up by Tamas. His throw to first is good for out number 2. So a couple of quick ground balls. And now quickly 2 outs. For the bases clear and 2 outs, it's the first baseman Travis Shaw. Shaw grounded out to second in his first try. The first pitch to him is high for ball 1. The 1-2. And that one's fouled away. And a cut and a miss. Picked up in the dirt by Zunino. His throw to first is good to complete the strikeout, and that will retire the side. The Jays go down here in the fourth. 1-2-3. As we head to the fifth. First baseman Ji-Man Choi will lead off the fifth. Choi's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. He's got an RBI to his name. It's Choi, Renfro, and Tamas here to try and tack onto this lead. Roar comes out to start a fifth. He's given up 8 hits and 3 earned runs as that one is put on the ground, picked up by the second baseman Biggio, and his throw is in time to Shaw to retire Choi. So Choi now 0 for 3 today after that 4-3 ground ball. That first pitch to Renfro is 0 for 1. Renfro today 1 for 2, a 2-run homer and a strikeout here against Rourke. The 0-1. And that one is high for ball 1. Renfro takes low, and now 2-2. And the pitch from Rourke. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Gets Renfro to strike out again. Strikeout number 4 for Rourke on the day. Now he's got 2 outs quickly here in the fifth. And that will bring up Willie Adames, who's 1 for 2. A single and a ground ball right to the pitcher Rourke. 2 outs, bases clear. Rays lead by 1 in the fifth. A quick cut and a miss. Rourke taking some speed off there. That pitch in at 84 miles an hour. And now the 1-1. Low and inside. And it's 2 balls a strike. Rourke working a little quicker now. That one looked to be in the zone, but called the ball again. James Kingsley won't give him the benefit of the doubt, and it's 3-1. And that one's going to be called a strike. Catched the outside part of the plate. And now the payoff. And that one is lifted up, run down by Teoscar Hernandez, and now called off. And now the center fielder, Mckinney, is there to make the catch. And that will retire the side, another 1-2-3 inning. So we head to the bottom of the fifth. It's Reese McGuire that will start this fifth inning for the Blue Jays. He's 0 for 1, a flyout in the second inning. It's Reese McGuire, Billy McKinney, and Brandon Drury, the 7, 8, 9 hole hitters here in the fifth. Here to all to face Chirinos. The 0-1. Slap foul. Now 0-2. That one well inside. Looked like it got away from him a little bit. And now 1-2 the count to the Blue Jays catcher. The pitch from Chirinos is outside, 2-2. Toronto loading up the lefties here against the righty Chirinos. 5 of the 9 hitters in the order are left-handed. And a cut and a miss there for McGuire as he goes down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Chirinos. And now it's the center fielder, Billy McKinney, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. As you see the defensive shift there to the right side. Are expecting Billy McKinney to be a pull hitter in the situation. But in this season, not just for the Rays, but for their opponents, we've seen a lot of guys hitting the opposite way and against the shift. The 2-0, and that one is fouled away. Got him to chase. There for strike 2. The count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zunino sets up inside. And they're going to ring him up. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th for Chirinos. That's now number 5. And now with 2 outs and nobody on, it's the 9-man Brandon Drury. A victim of a strikeout himself, 0 for 1. Came in the 2nd. In the top of the 6th for the Rays, it'll be Kevin Kiermaier, Jose Martinez, and Joey Wendell, who will presumably get their 3rd try at Tanner Roark. Now the 1-0. And that one's popped up, and it looks like it's going to be foul into the seats. With this out, Chirinos will qualify for the win. How much longer he'll go remains to be seen. It looks like he'll probably be finished at around 75-80 pitches, so maybe try to get him through his 6th. The bullpen in their last game on Sunday against the Orioles, they did not prove to be successful. Gave up all 10 of the Orioles' runs. Ryan Yarbrough got them through 6 scoreless, but the bullpen could not finish the job. The 3-1 here. And that one is grounded right to the shortstop, Adames, who will flip it to Choi at first to retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning for Chirinos. Through 5, it is 3-2 Rays. It's Kevin Kiermaier here to lead off the 6th. The Blue Jays have a couple men warming up in the pen. Kiermaier with a single in the 1st inning. The righty Bass, the lefty Pannonian getting loose. Yonny Chirinos now qualifies for the win. He's pitched 5 innings. As we said, Kevin Cash, we presume, will probably try and at least bring him out to start the 6th inning, as the Blue Jays have done with Tanner Roark, rather. Now the 2-1 to Kiermaier. And that one is lifted up, and it's going to fall right into the glove of the left fielder, Hernandez, for out number 1. The hits were coming off left and right early in this game, and now it just seems to be out after out, as I guess the starters have worked into a bit of a groove. So now Jose Martinez, he's 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a fly out to right. Cut and a miss, and now quickly 0-2. It looks like Tanner Roark has really figured this thing out. Despite giving up 8 hits, he's kept the damage pretty reasonable. Only giving up 3 runs. It's a 1-run ball game. The Rays are going to need some quality pitching to finish this game out if they want to come out with a win in the first game of this 3-game series. The 2-2 to Martinez. And that one is lifted up, but it looks like it's going to be run down by Teoscar Hernandez, and it falls into his glove for out number 2. And now with 2 outs and the base is empty, it's Joey Wendell. Wendell a strikeout in the first and a double in the fourth. Valuable piece, especially at the bottom of an order. He's a great contact hitter. Plays good defense as well. And especially valuable as a left-handed batter. And that one is grounded right to the first baseman Shaw, who runs over to the first base bag to tag him out. Another 1-2-3 inning as this game has stalled here as we head to the bottom of the 6th. A couple of men warming up in the Rays pen. Kevin Cash is going to let Yonny Chirino start a 6th inning. He faces the Blue Jays order a 3rd time through, which usually for Cash is a big no-no. The lefty Poche, the righty Castillo getting loose. As Jose Alvarado looks on. An off day yesterday, so the bullpen should be relatively fresh. Nick Anderson especially. They have a safe situation in the 9th. The 1-1 to Rowdy Tellez is taking strike 2. This next pitch will be Chirinos' 80th. The lefty Tellez here, the lefty Biggio, and then the righty Bichette. Then after that, it's a mixed bag of righties and lefties, so hard to really play matchups in that regard, as a swing and a miss from Tellez will count for Chirinos' 6th strikeout, as both pitchers really have heated up in the middle part of this game. As dusk turns to night slowly here in Toronto. This game's going so quick, there still may be sun in the sky by the time the fans are ready to go home. The 0-1. And that one's low. Ball and a strike now the count. Biggio 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Puts that one in the air, but it's the left fielder Martinez making an acrobatic play to squeeze out number 2. Now it's Bo Bichette with 2 outs and the base is empty. Bichette 1 for 2, a single in the first and grounded into a double play to end the 3rd. Quickly fouls that first pitch away. Now the 0-1 outside, and it's 1-1. And now that one's going to be right up the middle, but scooped up by Adames, and makes a nice play over there. Choi as well to scoop it out of the ground. Another 1-2-3 inning. As we are now through 6, the Rays still hold up that 1-run lead. Now a pitching move for the Blue Jays is Tamas Pannonian in 27 appearances, a 4.08 ERA. It'll be the catcher, Zenito, to lead things off. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. He's got his average all the way up to 273. Tanner Roark's day is done. In 6 innings pitched, he gave up 3 earned runs on 8 hits, struck out 4, and walked a man. He is now in line for the loss. Tamas Pannonian to come on in relief. He'll face Zunino, Meadows, and Lau here in the 7th. The 0-1 to Zunino, and it's inside for ball 1. The 1-2. Inside. Count even at 2-2. Catcher Zunino has worked some impressive at-bats in the last couple of games, as he's now proving to be a valuable asset offensively as well as defensively. He was brought in from Seattle really as a defensive catcher, a great game caller, and backstop. As he takes that pitch high for ball 4, he's now reached base all 3 times. He's come to the dish. And that leadoff walk will bring the Rays back to the top of the order here for Austin Meadows. He's 1 for 2, a single, a fly out to left, and also a walk thrown in there as well, as now the Rays head through their lineup a 4th time through. The lefty Pannonian throws to the lefty Meadows, low, ball 1. Pretty decent showing here in Toronto, as expected. The Blue Jays have a passionate fan base, and as a couple of games 500, they're quite competitive. They've been waiting on this young group of talent to flourish in the major leagues, and it's really all starting to come together for the Blue Jays, as they've started to piece some pitching together, as well as some electric offensive players. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a guy we did not see tonight, but we'll probably see within the next couple of days. The 2-1 is low, and the runners is going to stay put at first, which makes sense. And, not a guy known for great speed. 3-1 now the count to Meadows. Here it is. And taking strike 2 rather. And now the count to Meadows is full. Here's the payoff pitch. And he chases for strike 3. So Meadows had worked himself a good count, but Pannonian comes back to get him. It'll now be Brandon Lau. Lau 1 for 3. A double, also grounded into a double play in the 4th. That came with the bases loaded. Hopefully that doesn't come back to cost the Rays. We'll see. That one caught the outside part of the plate. 4 strike 1. Now the 0-1. A few takes from Brandon Lau, and it's now 2-1. Rays desperately trying to add on to their lead. It's just 1 run. All 5 runs between these two teams were scored in the first inning. Nothing since then. A couple of threats, really, but that's been it. The 2-2. And they're going to ring him up. Another strikeout there for Pannonian as he's heating up a little bit. Now it's Ji-Man Choi to come to the plate. He's 0 for 3 with that first inning RBI grounder. And that one is put on the ground foul. The 1-1 to Choi. That one is fouled away. Pannonian now a strike away from getting out of the 7th scoreless. Keeping his Blue Jays in this one. In the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Teoscar Hernandez, Randal Grichuk, and Travis Shaw. That one fouled back again by Choi. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away again. And a cut and a miss for Choi. Another strikeout for Pannonian. He's got 3 in the inning. 7th inning stretch time. The visiting Rays are up 3-2. And now a pitching move for the Rays. It's Diego Castillo. Castillo in 37 appearances, a .250 ERA. Did not come through in his last appearance against the Orioles. Gave up a home run. He gave the Orioles the lead for good. But he comes in now to face Teoscar Hernandez, Randal Grichuk, and Travis Shaw. As we close out Chirinos' line. In 6 innings pitched, he gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. He is in line for the win. Rays with 9 outs left to get. Two balls, 2 strikes now the count to Hernandez. And that one outside, and the count will now be full. The payoff pitch. And that one lifted up, run down by the center fielder Kiermaier, and he's there for out number 1. It's now Randal Grichuk to the plate. He's 1 for 2. An RBI double in the first. And ground out in the 6th. The 1-2. Outside. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Trying to put away the second out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Diego Castillo took some speed off of that one. A pump of the fist and a ear-to-ear smile. As he picks up a strikeout of Grichuk there. His first of the outing. The 2-0. And that one lifted straight into the air. It looks like it'll be the catcher Zunino under it. And he'll make the catch for out number 3. So Diego Castillo comes into the contest. Pitches a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. And he's got the Rays now 6 outs away from their 40th win. Another pitching move for the Jays. It's Anthony Bass in 32 appearances, a 1.76 ERA. He comes on to pitch the 8th after Tamas Pannonian pitched the 7th. Pannonian finished with a scoreless inning in which he gave up a hit and struck out 3. At first pitch to Renfro outside. Over 27,000 the attendance here in Rogers Center tonight. An electric crowd, no doubt. Hunter Renfro, Willie Adames, and Kevin Kiermaier here in the 8th. That one is lifted up off the bat, chased by the right fielder Grichuk, and he makes the catch on the warning track for out number 1. Renfro gave that one a ride. Could have been home run number 2 in the night, but he can't lift it out of the park. You see the starter comparison there. 6 innings pitched for both pitchers, but that 1 run is the difference between a win and in the loss. As hopefully those results hold, and Chirinos will be hailed the winning pitcher. That pitch to Adames is taken strike 1. A couple of righties warming up in the Blue Jays pen. That pitch is just foul. And a cut and a miss as Adames strikes out. There's now 2 away in the 8th. And that one lifted in the air by Kiermaier. Teoscar Hernandez goes back and makes a catch right in front of the track. So 1-2-3 inning in the 8th. The Rays had a chance at a couple of home runs, but they're going to take their 1-run lead to the bottom of the 8th. Another pitching move for the Rays is now Jose Alvarado on in 23 appearances, a 3.98 ERA. Diego Castillo pitched an electric 7th inning. A strikeout to his name and a scoreless inning. As they're going to need some stellar performances from the bullpen. Presumably Alvarado in the 8th and Nick Anderson in the 9th. Try and come out away with this with a win. It's Anderson getting loose. Chaz Rowe as well for insurance. The 1-0. Well, outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. It's Reese McGuire to the plate here. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout in the 5th. It'll be Billy McKinney next, Brandon Drury after that. So not a tall ask, really, for Alvarado. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters. But presumably it'll be Nick Anderson getting the top of the order. A 3-0 count to the catcher, McGuire. Here's the pitch from Alvarado. In there for strike 1. That one low, ball 4. It's a leadoff walk for Reese McGuire. And that'll put the tying run on the base path. Jose Alvarado struggled in his last outing against the Orioles, hoping to close out this inning scoreless. He's going to have to make some pitches, though, after that leadoff walk. The first walk, in fact, issued by Rays pitching here tonight. Quite impressive in that regard. You have to keep it going when it matters most. 6 outs left for the Rays to get, clinging on to just a 1-run lead. One ball and no strikes, the count to Billy McKinney. He's 0 for 2. A fly out to left and a strikeout. That pitch in there for strike 1. In there at 100 miles an hour. His bullpen can certainly turn on the heat. But can he control it? We'll see. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. In there at 98. Just trying to blow past the bottom part of this order. And now the 1-2. Swung on and missed again. 99. That fastball ran inside. And Billy McKinney didn't know what to do with himself. Strikes out there. Now there's one away in the 8th. It'll be the 9-man Brandon Drury here with a man on and 1 out. Drury 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out to short. A cut and a miss there. Fastball in there at 100. I think the catcher Zunino knows what to do in this part of the game. You have a pitcher that can throw 100. Why bother mess with anything else? The fastballs seem to be enough. Take some speed off of that one at 91. And Drury is happy to take it for a ball. Alvarado shakes off Zunino. And now the 1-1 goes back to the fastball, fouled away. The next couple men in the Jays order are lefties, so it makes sense to keep Alvarado in, as that one is fouled away. Interesting to see how Cash will line things up. He's got options. Now the 1-2. High, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alvarado consistently throwing 100 in this outing. The 2-2. Fouled away again. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 84 on the off speed. Fooled Drury with it. And now 4 outs left to get. With a man on and 2 outs, the Blue Jays go back to the top of their order for Rowdy Tellez. Tellez 2 for 3, a double and a single. And a strikeout his last time up in the 6th. That would have been against Chirinos. So, Tellez has been geared up to face low 90s. Let's see how he deals with 100. He's taken a couple pitches. That one in there at 101. But couldn't control it as it was well outside. Easy to take. And now the 2-0 is in there for strike 1. About 20 pitches now for Alvarado, so not much more he can go. Probably could do another batter, but that's it, especially if you want to use him again in this series. That one low, and it's 3 balls a strike. Maybe if let him face the lefty Biggio, but after that you have the 3 righties, so that's when you would put in Nick Anderson, presumably. And a swing and a miss there will bring the count full. Alvarado shaking off Zunino. You think he's might be going for the fastball here. The payoff pitch. Fouled away. In the ninth inning for the Rays, it'll be Martinez, Wendell, and Zunino to try and add some insurance. Another 3-2 to Tellez. And that one's popped up. Run down by the center fielder Kiermaier, and he's under it for out number 3. So Alvarado issues a leadoff walk, but is able to get around it. He's got the Rays 3 outs away from a win.
Leading off for the Rays, the left fielder, Martinez.
It's Jose Martinez here as it's the 7-8-9 hitters. Anthony Bass stays in as the Jays maybe look to preserve their bullpen for this series. As this really is a great opportunity for Toronto to try and move up a peg in the American League East. As right now, it's mostly a 3-team race between New York, Boston, and Tampa Bay, with the Blue Jays really not far at all behind. The 2-0, inside ball 3. And the 3-0. And there for strike 1. That one's low, ball 4, so now a leadoff walk issued to Martinez. And that's the way this 9th inning will begin. And now it's Joey Wendell to get a try at things. Looks like maybe they're pitching for Martinez. No. He'll keep him there. And now it's Joey Wendell, as we said, a double in the 4th. Rays looking to add on. They're up a run. All runs in this game came in the first inning. The 3 for the Rays and the 2 for the Jays. As that one is flat out to center. McKinney goes back, but he's there to make the catch for out number 1.
Up next for Tampa Bay.
And now it's the catcher Mike Zunino. He's 2 for 2. 2 singles and a walk, as he has been red hot since returning from the injured list. That first pitch catches the corner, bottom and away for strike 1. Man on, 1 out. Nick Anderson warming up in the bullpen. I would presume they would just let him have the 9th, even though it'll be the lefty Biggio to get things started. I don't see a point in trying to get Alvarado up again just to face one batter, especially as he was up throwing 100 and even 101 there a couple times. So I think you just tell him his day is done and let the closer finish things off, as that one's lifted up by Zunino, but it's the left fielder Teoscar Hernandez underneath of it for out number 2. So Mike Zunino retired for the first time today. The Rays go back to the top of their order a 5th time through. And it's the leadoff man, Austin Meadows. He's 1 for 3, a single and a walk, as he's fared okay in this leadoff spot tonight. That first pitch to him is high for ball 1. So Anthony Bass comes on for the Blue Jays to pitch the 8th and the 9th innings. Has done pretty decent doing so, as the Rays really have not seen much of this Blue Jays bullpen all season. It's been a lot of long outings for the starters, as that's really just the way this Blue Jays team is built. Young, hotshot offense and good starting pitching. It's worked to the tune of a couple games above 500, and they're in the playoff chase here in mid-June. Now here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Austin Meadows has now worked the count full. Brandon Lau warming up on deck. Now the payoff pitch, fouled away. So it'll be Cavan Biggio, Bo Bichette, and Teoscar Hernandez, a lefty and a couple of righties, to come to the plate in the ninth. Austin Meadows takes that pitch outside, ball 4. So he will walk. Now men at first and second with 2 outs for Brandon Lau. Meadows reaches base for the 3rd time. Brandon Lau is 1 for 4 with a double. He's also grounded into a double play. Martinez standing at second. Meadows at first. 2 outs. Raise up a run in the top of the 9th. Trying to add some insurance. It'll be the closer, Nick Anderson, to try and scratch out this win. And now the 1-1. Low for ball 2. Another take for a strike by Lau, and it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. And it's going to hit him. It clips Brandon Lau, and that will load the bases with 2 outs. Really now a stellar chance to add on to the lead. And now it's G-Man Choi. He's 0 for 4. Struck out in his last time up. But will now get another go at things. With the bases loaded and 2 outs. A righty on lefty matchup. I'm surprised they're leaving Anthony Bass in. I mean, this is a high leverage spot. A chance to keep it a 1-run game. Hopefully the Rays can cash in, of course. Now the 1-0. In there for strike 1. A cut and a miss by Choi, and it's now 1-2. Bass just a strike away from getting out of this inning. 34th pitch upcoming. Here it is. And a cut and a miss. A big, big strikeout for Anthony Bass and the Blue Jays. As he loads the bases but gets out of it without giving up a run. Bottom of the 9th. The home team down a run. And it is Nick Anderson. In 26 appearances, he's 19 for 22 in save opportunities. A 4.01 ERA. A chance for save number 20. It's Cavan Biggio here with Bo Bichette and Teoscar Hernandez to follow. Biggio is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a flyout to left. The 1-0. Outside. Nick Anderson fails to find the zone, and it's 3-0. To the leadoff man, Cavan Biggio. He's yet to reach base here tonight, though. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued here in the 9th, and now the tying run is standing at first base. And now it's Bo Bichette. He's 1 for 3 here. a single in the first. He's grounded into a double play as well. Would love to see that happen again. Here's the first pitch to him. First strike thrown of the outing for Anderson. A fastball at 97, so that's a good sight. This Rays bullpen really knows how to turn on the heat. Now the 0-1. High for for strike one. Ball one. Excuse me. The 1-1. And that one is lifted straight up in the air. And it's the shortstop Adames in shallow center to squeeze out number one. Now the Rays 2 outs away. It's now Teoscar Hernandez. He's 0 for 3. An RBI fielder's choice in the first. Here's the first pitch to him. The runner's going to go. The throw from Zunino is not in time. Good pop time for Zunino, but a really good lead by Biggio, and that's the problem with the leadoff walk. A stolen base away from getting the tying run in scoring position, and now the Blue Jays do. A base hit would tie this baby up. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And they are for strike one. Zunino gives his pitcher the vote of confidence as Nick Anderson is trying to gather himself. Just 2 outs left to get, but they're going to be big ones here in the heart of this order. The cleanup man Hernandez here. It's Randal Grichuk that will bat next. Here's the 3-1. And that one is popped up. Run down by the center fielder Kiermaier, and he's there in right center to make the catch for out number 2. So just like that, the Blue Jays are down to their final out. And now it'll be the right fielder Randal Grichuk. Grichuk is 1 for 3, an RBI double. He struck out his last time up in the 7th. That would be against Diego Castillo. Biggio the tying run at second. 2 outs. Huge, huge spot here between Nick Anderson and Randal Grichuk. A big cut and a miss there. He lost the bat as Nick Anderson took some speed off on the curveball, and now the Blue Jays down to their final strike. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. A position every batter and every pitcher dreams of. The hit ties it up. A strikeout ends it. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Rays get win number 40 on the season. Nick Anderson picks up his 20th save. The Rays win in Toronto by a score of 3-2. Yonny Chirinos is the winning pitcher. As we said, Nick Anderson gets the save. A great team win, and it gets this road trip started with a victory. The Rays advance to 40-34. The Blue Jays drop to 37-36. We'll see you tomorrow for Tyler Glasnow v. Trent Thornton.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious Rays, 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They left 10 men on base. For the Blue Jays, 2 runs on 4 hits, No errors. They left 4 men on base.